When I first posted the Monster on Glencross on this channel, I felt pretty happy. I mean, it was my first film that I posted on my channel. It's the first film that I publicly published to people. It's the first film that people from anywhere across the world could see. And part of me was nervous. I was mostly excited for it. And it took me 8 months to make that movie. And all throughout that, I was wondering when it was going to be done. And when it finally was, I didn't know what the next thing to do was. In other videos, I've stated that I've made some films previous to the Monster on Glencross, but I haven't posted them on the channel at the time. So I made a video asking the viewers at the time to give me their opinion. Do they want to see this other film that I made before the Monster on Glencross? And they've said yes. And I just posted this movie out of nowhere, and they didn't even know how I made it. And this movie was called War for the Land of the Toys. And at the Walmart Oscars at the end of the year, when I was making it, I didn't think that this movie would be as popular as I thought it would be. I'm just so grateful that you guys really enjoyed that movie. And it won Best Picture for the Walmart Oscars ceremony, which is really cool. But I feel like it's been a couple months now as of recording this from the Walmart Oscars, and I feel like it's time I tell you the story of how I made War for the Land of the Toys. In the making of the Monster on Glencross, I stated that I made a film before the Monster on Glencross. I'll play the clip here.
The Monster on Glencross, the film that I made and posted on this channel, was not my first film that I've made. Now, I've made 4 other films before the Monster on Glencross.
So yeah, as I stated, I made a film before December of 2020. I just finished making my first successful short film called The Monster on Glencross. This was the short film before I adapted it into a longer story for the YouTube channel. I just finished making that, and I already wanted to start making another movie, just like that. So me and my brother, Tim, he and I were bouncing ideas off each other for different story ideas, and I ultimately came to the conclusion that I wanted to make a story about us, my siblings. So we kept thinking, a story about us. What do we like to do? Well, we like to play with each other. At the time, we were very, very close. So I started looking around, and I saw our toys, and I was thinking, we haven't played with those in a long time. So then I kept thinking again, toys, Toy Story, that could be a cool thing. Another thing that I wanted to do, I also wanted to make a war movie. My ultimate plan back then was to make a monster movie, a war movie, and a spy movie. as of right now, I've done all of those. So, yay me. At the time, I really wanted to make a war movie. So, then I was thinking, toys, war movie, family, something's cooking here. But I really have to give my greatest thanks to my brother Tim, because he was the one who ultimately decided the idea of this movie. He said to me, Toy Story, but with guns. And I loved it instantly. I loved the idea, and I just didn't know how to do it yet. So yeah, we have a movie idea, we have the people, and yeah. So there's this YouTube channel called SML that I watched all the time. I love their characters and all that. Yeah, they make really good puppet videos, and they're really funny, and I kind of wanted to do something like that. So basically, I kind of wanted to make a movie in the style of SML's puppet videos, but with guns and aspects of Toy Story. For the characters of the movie, we decided we were going to use our toys. And we had a bunch of toys. We had lots of stuffed animals, plastic toys, and I mean, this was the perfect thing for this movie. For the main characters, me and Tim decided that it was going to be Woody and Buzz from Toy Story, because Toy Story is one of the bigger influences on this movie. So Woody, Buzz would be the main characters, but who are going to be the other characters? I mean, we kind of decided that as we moved the story along. Like when we filmed the ER Tribe scenes, we looked around my sister's room and we saw a bunch of dolls, and we picked one and we decided that would be the queen of the ER Tribe, and my sister said that her name was Millie, so that's where Queen Millie of the ER Tribe was born. And when we filmed the realm of Tufus Borelius, or the Tufus Tribe, we looked for some menacing character, but my brother had this big stuffed bear. I believe it used to be mine, but I gave it to him for some reason. I don't know why. But I remember I wanted those ones to be the main ones. Like, we had this big bear and this big dog, and we decided those ones would be the main characters of those tribes. And then I looked at it and I was like, that's not really menacing. So then we just found this wolf mask out of nowhere, and we put it on the bear, and we immediately thought it was awesome. So that's where Chief Barry and Barry's brother was born. Things were going pretty good. We have a story idea, we have characters, and now we just need a title. At the time, I think we recently watched War for the Planet of the Apes, in the Planet of the Apes trilogy. We were watching the trilogy as a family, and we recently watched that one at the time, I think. And I guess I was kind of inspired by the title of that movie, because it kind of like rolls off the tongue, like War for the Planet of the Apes, you know? So then I was like, I think I'm gonna steal that title. And I kind of did. I replaced planet with land and apes with toys. So, War for the Land of the Toys. So, if people start asking, I can say now, I stole the title for War for the Land of Toys from Planet of the Apes. Things were very great. We have a movie title, we have a movie story, we have ideas, we have everything. Now we just need to film it. So for this movie, we kind of went with like a go with the flow type story. We made the story up as we went along. I had the basic idea in my head. I just wanted to build off of that idea. Like, my siblings would suggest like different ideas for the scene, and I would review them and say like, that could be cool. We could do this, or we could do that. It could be anything. So, I believe the very first scene that we filmed was the scene of Woody and Buzz crossing the Hlahwe to the ER tribe. I remember filming that. We filmed it in the hallway of our house, between our rooms. That was pretty fun. I kind of liked adding the montage sequence. We added different things that were just in the environment there. Like, there was a pillow right next to us, so we used that. We imagined what it would be like. Like, maybe they could cross over this. Like, maybe it's an obstacle or something. I don't know. It was kind of fun to think of different things that we could do for that scene. Each one of my siblings has a designated set of toys. So I thought that we could have the toys from each of my siblings band together and fight us, the humans. So we kind of incorporated that into the story, like each of our toys rising up to kill us. At the time, I kind of grew out of all my toys and stuff, so that's why I said that the Lucas Maximus tribe was killed off and stuff. So we had the basic idea of the tribes, the different tribes of toys, and their common goal of stopping the humans from hurting them. As it said in the beginning of War for the Land of the Toys, I put a warning in front saying that this film was originally filmed in 2 parts, which is true. We did film the first 40 minutes of War for the Land of the Toys separate from the last hour of the film. And in this video, I will explain more about that. So, the first 40 minutes is Woody and Buzz recruiting the toys to help them fight the humans and establishing the basic plot of the movie. And at the time, I was going to film the entire thing. But this took about 3 months to film that first 40 minutes. And I believe it took from like December 2020 to February 2021. And at the time, there was a big family gathering at this certain day. And I believe I wanted to show this movie to my family on that day, but we only had 40 minutes done. And I've been hyping this movie up with my family. I've been saying, hey, I've been making this movie, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. And they would ask me many times when the movie was going to be done, and I was saying, oh, we're approaching 40 minutes now. It'll be done when it's done. So yeah, I guess I didn't want to wait any longer to show the film to my family. So that's why we filmed the first 40 minutes and the last hour separately, because I wanted to show what we had to my family, and we only had 40 minutes done at the time. The first 40 minutes of War for the Land of Toys is filmed very poorly, in my opinion, because at the time I was filming the movie on my iPhone 11, and I was filming it holding it up, like upwards. I forget the correct terminology, but pretend this is my phone. I was filming it like this. But when I put it into iMovie, the picture would appear smaller, and I didn't know how to fix that at the time. So when I started filming part 2, I realized that if I just flip my phone to, I believe, landscape or horizontal, if I film it like this, that the picture will be fully enlarged. And I was like, well, crap, I filmed the first 40 minutes like very poorly. Like, ever since I discovered that filming landscaped would enlarge the picture, I always wanted to remake the first 40 minutes, but at the time I was very frustrated with myself. So that's why the rest of the movie is fully enlarged, and the first 40 minutes is kind of shortened a bit. So when we were done filming the first 40 minutes, I realized, watching it back, that we didn't film any of the war scenes. We didn't film any of the shooting scenes, any of the action. We just filmed the establishing plot. That's all we did back then, and I thought it was really good. But now that I think about it, we didn't do anything in terms of advancing the story. And at the time, I was still trying to figure out how we were going to film the war scenes, and just stopping filming there and showing the first 40 minutes to my family, that kind of gave me like a break. Like, I've been working on this for 3 months without like any, like breaks or anything. So I decided I would take just a little break, like just a minor break. So this was in mid-February. So I spent the next few weeks thinking of how we were going to do it, and I guess I got kind of lazy and I got off track. You know me. I got off track. I got distracted. It ended up me having to wait like a huge amount of time before I was able to get back into the swing of things and film the rest of the movie. My little short break ended up being like 3 months long. It ended up lasting till May. May is when we started filming the next hour of the movie. And in that 3-month period, I would watch a bunch of other war films and see how those scenes were composed together. And I always realized that they would be in a certain location for the duration of the battle. And fast-paced cuts would go through this throughout the sequence. So I decided to try to mimic that with our first battle scene. So the first battle scene that we filmed was the battle with the wall. I thought this would be the perfect set piece because we could set it up and like put blankets over it and cover it and make it look like the same the next time we film it. The battle on the wall, that battle scene took us so long to film because one day we would have enough time to film like a couple shots, the next day we'd have like no time at all. So we filmed that scene over a long period of time. And as I edited it together, I was just watching it come together and I was so happy with the final product. I thought it was so cool when I finally finished everything. It was a very interesting battle sequence. The main problem I had with trying to do the battle scenes was trying to incorporate both us and the toys together. But then I just realized that we could just film us separately and then just do it and make it look like we're shooting at each other in post. So that didn't occur to me at the time. Yeah, once we figured out how to actually do it, it was like very easy after that. So that's how we filmed the rest of our battle scenes after that. So at this point, we had the first 40 minutes, the first battle scene done, and then I was stumped. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do to make the story last longer, but then I kept thinking, in most movies, our heroes, they try multiple times to accomplish their goal, and sometimes they fail. So then I was like, well, maybe they should lose this battle, so that way they can then be depressed, which then can expand the runtime. So I was just thinking of making the longest movie possible at this time, instead of just making a really good story. So I decided that the toys would lose that battle and then go home all sad and stuff. And then I ultimately decided that another one of our characters would die and sacrifice himself. Woody would be all sad because his friend died. It didn't really occur to me then, but now I realize the death of Chief Barry is a turning point in the story because the feeling of pain and loss is something that Woody needs to learn in order to move on. But at the time, I just thought it was a clever way to make the runtime go longer. So after the toys are defeated by the humans in that one battle, I decided Woody would be depressed and he wouldn't want to fight the humans anymore. So that would add more runtime to the movie. And then I kept thinking, well, maybe he could get some help from someone and he could find the motivation to go back to fighting. So we were looking around for someone who could be like like a helper to Woody to get him out of his depression state. And we found this old Woody doll. The current Woody doll is the newer one. It's a doll from Toy Story 4, but the old one, I believe that one was from Toy Story 3. So we just decided to reuse him and make him his older brother. And that's where Stony was born. And we decided that Stony would be the one who helps Woody and the toys to go fight the humans one more time, to ultimately destroy them and kill them. I remember I woke up one day and we had most of the movie done. We just needed to film the final battle, and that would be the end of production. I remember I woke up and I said to myself, today's the day. Today's the day we're gonna film the rest of the movie. So I gathered my siblings around and I said, all right guys, today's the day we're gonna film the rest of the movie. So the final battle was one of the final scenes that we filmed, and I remember we rushed the entire thing. We rushed to get it done, and in the end it was pretty okay in my opinion. I believe that the first battle scene was way better than the final battle, but we tried our best, and the final product it's all right. It's all right in my opinion. Now, the very ending of the movie, I had many ideas for the ending of the movie. I remember this one ending where it would end with a monologue of Woody saying, like, after the war, we signed the Treaty of the Hulawe, and the humans surrendered. And that's where the term Treaty of the Hulawe came from, in the which also ultimately made a return in the second movie. But we ended up not using that ending. And I wanted to set up a trilogy of movies based off of this universe that I created or whatever. So I decided that Woody deciding not to kill the toys would be the ending of the movie. I thought that, learning that if he kills the humans, he'll become just as bad as they were. And I was satisfied with that ending. And that's the ending that was ultimately used in the final cut. And I thought back to the beginning to Great Councilman Hank when he said, go and kill the humans for what they did. And I thought, wait a minute, what if he doesn't like that decision and he starts a whole nother war to go kill the humans because Woody didn't do it? And that's when I realized that was going to be the sequel. So we set it up as Great Councilman Hank recruiting Mickey to be his second in command, and that would be the end of the movie. So yeah, looking back at making War for the Land of the Toys, I think it was definitely a complete story, in my opinion. I believe that it was the most movie-like, in my opinion. I mean, The Monster on Glencross, it has story and stuff, but War for the Land of the Toys, it ended up being feature length, like an hour and 46 minutes. So I don't know. I guess War for the Land of the Toys was more of my movie than The Monster on Glencross felt. And I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I posted it on the channel. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I'm glad I made the second movie. And I'm glad that I'm planning on making a third movie as of recording this. I'm glad that I was able to tell this story. This one, it always holds a special place in my heart. And I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate the support. And see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.